Hello and welcome, Mr. Lyons here. Hope all is well. And you should have read and annotated this problem already, right? And so the difference here today is last time we met on Tuesday, we were talking about the cost of ice cream, the cost of hot dogs, the cost of hamburgers. However, today, the question's not asking how much did these things cost. We're given that information, right? We're talking about the quantity, how many kinds, how many of each kind, right, were sold. So instead of talking about the cost of something, we're talking about the quantity of something. So that should get you familiar with what your variables should and would look like, right? So we are talking about adult tickets and children's tickets. So I know what my variables are going to be. I'm talking about adult tickets. I'm going to label that A. Talking about children's tickets, I'm going to label that C. But what does A and C represent? In our previous lesson, the question was how much did each ticket cost, right? So that'd be the cost of adult tickets, the cost of children's tickets. But what's the question asking now? How many? So A is actually going to represent, that's right, the number of adult, almost spelled adult wrong, tickets, right? The number of adult tickets, which means C is going to represent, that's right, the number of child or children tickets, right? Today we're talking about the quantity of something, how much, how many, not the cost, how many, right? So let's look at this first sentence here, right? He knew a total of 150 tickets were sold. So what do you have to add to get the total number of tickets? What do you have to add? Well, we're selling adult tickets and children's tickets. So pause the video, see if you can come up with that first equation yourself, a total of 150. How are you going to get this total of 150? Well, you're going to add the number of adult tickets. You're going to add the number of child tickets. So that's going to be what? A plus C, absolutely, right? And then the second sentence saying adult tickets were $7.50 each. Children tickets were $7.50 each. And we had a total, how much was the money, right? The total of $891.25. So here we're talking about the total number of tickets, and we're talking about the total money. So here we're adding the number of tickets, but here we have to add the money. What would that look like if we're talking about all the money from adult tickets, all the money from child tickets, right? Well, if you had one adult ticket, that'd be $7.50. If you had two adult tickets, that'd be what? See if you can figure that out. That's right, $15, because that's $7.50, $7.50. If you had three adult tickets, that'd be $7.50, $7.50, $7.50. If you had five adult tickets, that'd be $7.50, $7.50, $7.50. So what are we doing with $7.50 and the number of adult tickets? We are multiplying. So that would look like $7.50, $7.50 times the number of adult tickets. But we are not only selling adult tickets. What would that the child ticket money look like? That's right. It's $4.75 per child ticket, right? And what do you have here now? You already know. You got yourself a stew cooking. I'm just kidding. This is not a stew. This is a system of equations, right? You got yourself a nice little system of equations going on here, right? So I'm going to rewrite my system to the side. And you have a couple different methods you can use to solve, right? Go to our anchor charts and see what method do you think you could use to solve here, right? The two methods that I see that could be most useful would be elimination, or you could use what? Substitution, right? Because I see in my first equation, I could easily isolate any variable. I can easily isolate A or C. I'm going to isolate C. Let me show you what that would look like. If you feel like, oh, I can use elimination here, Mr. Lyons, I'm going to try to eliminate the A's or the C variables. Go ahead and multiply the top equation. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to use substitution here, and I'm going to model that, okay? I want to isolate one of my variables so I can substitute it. I'm going to isolate my A. So to cancel out this positive C, I'm going to subtract C on both sides. These are not like terms, so what I'm going to get is 150 minus C. What can I do with this information now? I can take this binomial and substitute this bad boy for A. I now know what A is equal to, right? So now I'm going to go to the side. And now that I substituted, I isolated my A, I can substitute A for this binomial. A is equal to 150 minus C. The number of adult tickets is the total tickets minus the child tickets. That's what that means. The number of adult tickets is the total tickets without minus the child tickets, right? So what would that new equation look like if I substituted A for the binomial here? It'd be $7.50 times the adult tickets is the total tickets without my child tickets, right? Plus 495C equals 891.25. If you can solve this on your own, if you feel confident enough to solve this on your own, go ahead and do so. I see some distribution here, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute that, right? That's going to be what? Pause the video and try to do these steps on your own at this point, okay? This is going to be 1,025 minus 750C plus, drop the rest of this down, right? See if you can do this work on your own. I can combine these like terms here, right? You can combine those like terms there to get 1125 minus 2.75C equals 891.25. See if you can do this on your own now, right? And now I'm going to do what? I'm going to subtract 1,125 on both sides. And feel free to punch this right into your calculator, 0.00, right? Feel free to punch this right into your calculator if you need to, okay? And then I'm going to get down here, negative 2.75C equals, I have more negatives. I know this is going to be negative, and you just subtract these now. 233.75. You should be able to solve the rest on your own. See if you can solve the rest of this on your own, and go ahead and get your number of child tickets. If you divide both sides by negative 275, you're going to end up with, what does this mean right here? The number of child tickets sold, 85. 85 child tickets. How would you now find the number of adult tickets? Well, take this top equation. This is A plus C equals 150, right? I know my C is 85, and I know the total was 150. So how many adult tickets were sold, all right? You're going to go ahead and answer that question in the next Nearpod slide, and I will check you later.